afternoon, friends. It's Gina from Gina K Designs, and I'm so glad to see all of you today. Everybody coming in from all around the world. Gosh, we missed you. We had a premiere last Thursday, and then our internet went down, and we couldn't go live on Tuesday night, so this has been a long time coming, and I'm so glad that we can all be together again. I'd like to welcome you to today's technique program. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with some stencils, and I'm going to do a fun technique that I've done in the past, but I really love it, and I think that you guys, it might spark some interest again in this technique for some of you, and for some of our new folks, maybe you haven't seen this one before. I think you'll like it. So we're going to be using our new butterfly garden stencil. It's been a big hit. I saw Kathy Zilski use it. I saw Mindy Egan use it, and I thought I would get a card in with it as well, maybe even two. We'll see. But before we get started, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Happy crafternoon, everybody. Wow.
It's been a long time.
My gosh. Gina K Designs, home of the internet.
Is that the word of the day?
We've
the internet?
Really been in the dead space here, right?
Yeah, even our customer service was down. Our phone lines were down. Our computers were down. It was terrible.
Yeah, it really leaves you wondering, what to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been quite a week. But here we are.
Here we are. And we're ready to have some fun. So I'm going to be using that new butterfly stencil, that real delicate one it's so detailed. It's such a fun one to use. And I'm going to make a couple of cards, and I have a fun technique to share with everybody. So
go, baby.
All right. Okay. So for those of you that haven't gotten the stencil, look at how detailed that is. It looks good up against the black. Look at that. That is one detailed butterfly stencil. It is such a beautiful stencil, and you can do so many fun things with it. Now, this one is great for doing like a soft pastel blend, and I had showed that on release night. I did a bit of a pastel blend here, and you can see the way the stencil works is the color fills in and the butterflies stay white, which I really like that. I think that's really cool, and I want to do a card with that featuring one little technique that I think you guys will like. So let's start with that technique, and then we'll get into the second technique and see if we can get two cards out of today's video. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of cardstock and I'm going to trim it down a little bit. So this is just our white layering weight cardstock. And I'm going to cut this down to 3.5. Let's see. That had a bent corner there. 3.5 by 4 3/4. So we'll make that about the same as our Master Layouts 2 size. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some masking magic. Now, if you don't have masking magic, don't fret. You can use either really big Post-it notes, or you can even use cardstock for this if you want. You just have to tape it down so that it doesn't shift around. Now, I'm going to use masking magic just because it's easy, But I think this is a technique that it's fun to do, and we kind of forget about it now and then. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take, let's see, I'm going to cut this down. Let's cut this down to, I'll just cut it down to 3 inches here. This way I can use this for another card project later. Now, our masking magic, this is a Gina K Designs product that is made for us by ThermoWeb. It is a delicate tack adhesive. It's reusable. It's kind of waterproof. I want to say it's waterproof. It may not be like saturating waterproof, but if you did a little watercolor near it, it doesn't seem to be affected too much by it. And what I love about masking magic is it doesn't really tear the paper. I've had a couple occasions where I've said that and then I've torn the paper, and that's embarrassing. But the reason why that happened is because I was really pressing hard and I was really rubbing hard on top of it with some stuff, and I really got it to stick. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this piece of masking magic. You see it opens in the back there. I'm just going to tear it. Just randomly tear it. Okay. You see I'm purposely not tearing it straight. I made it kind of look jagged. I mean, this is a great way to, if you're ever like trying to do mountains in the background, you can always tear your cardstock like that. Or if you're trying to do cloud formations, you could tear your cardstock like that. But what I'm going to do with this today is I am going to create a little bit of an opening here. And what's nice about the Masking Magic is you can see through it. Can you see the cardstock through there? You can see through it, so you can see how close to the top that you are. Can you see that? You can just see where the top of the cardstock is. And I'm going to do the same thing down here at the bottom. All right. And I can turn this a little bit just to make it look a little less like it fits right in there, a little less like a puzzle piece. Or if you want, you can go back in and you can tear it a little bit more just to make it look a tiny bit different than the top. So let's do that. Okay, and we'll put that right. Let's do it right here. Okay, that'll be good. All right, so now I'm going to put this butterfly stencil right on top, and I thought that I would use neon inks today. I haven't used the neon inks in a while, and every once in a while you get in the mood for those unbelievably bright colors. Now, if you haven't tried our neon inks, and I think it's a good day to do this because you guys know we're having a 15% off the store sale. So you can get 15% off of anything from now until Friday. So I haven't brought these neon inks out in a while, and maybe some of you have some of them and you wanted to collect a couple more, but we have Raging Red, Orange Glow, Hello Yellow. These are called Electro-pop inks. We have Loud Lime, Screamin Green, Blaring Blue, Potent Purple, and Poppin Pink. So these are, look at that. I mean, that's like almost, they look like highlighters, don't they? They're really, really bright. But they're really fun, and sometimes you just are in the mood for bright. Now, I will tell you that I do have my own little set of brushes that I have dedicated to the neon inks. You don't have to do that. It's okay to mix your brushes. So if you have a pink brush and you want to clean it off a little bit and then use it on your Poppin Pink neon pad and then clean it off again before you go back to your Passionate Pink or your bubblegum, that's fine to do. But I like having a dedicated set of brushes for these because then I don't have to clean them. And that's just a me thing. If that's something you like and you were thinking about doing that, now is a good time because with everything 15% off, you could get brushes and you could get neon inks if you wanted. But you can also, and I am going to, let me state here, I want to show you a couple other stencils that you can do this same kind of technique with. You can use our Mega Flower stencil. You can use our Seashell stencil. You can use the Making Waves stencil, and you can use the Rose Swirl stencil. So these are older stencils from our collection that you can use, and these work great because the bulk of the design is actually will stay white. So you can use this kind of stencil on both techniques that I show you today, and you will get this kind of look where the design itself stays white. Okay, so I'm going to start. I don't have any ink stands for my Electro-pop inks, my little square ones, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna do, maybe I'll do like a green and blue. No, I wanna do some bright colors. So maybe I'll do like the Raging Red, the Poppin Pink, and the Orange Glow. So I'll do some of those brighter colors that are more warm toned. So I'll start with the Raging Red. Let's see here, we'll ink that up. I'll have to talk to Brienne and see if she can make me an inkstand for these. There might be one. I haven't really looked that well. So I'm going to just come across here some of this Raging Red. You can see it's a very bright red. It's a fun red. I like the neon inks. These are my daughter Rena's inks. She named them all. But I'll tell you, I had to hold her back a little bit because I think her original name for Raging Red was Rash. And I said, you can't call it a rash. And she said, yeah, but I had a rash that was that color one time. All right, now I'm going in with the Orange Glow.
Egg's amazing.
Okay. And you can see these blend so beautifully together. These are flawless inks when it comes to blending. The sale should end tomorrow night at midnight, so it's good through Friday, I believe. I will check that with Sammy, and if I'm wrong, we'll change it so that it ends at midnight. How's that? I can do that. All right, and now we're going to go in with the Poppin Pink.
And there's a coupon code, right?
It's a coupon code. Oh, yeah, the code is SCHOOL15. That's the code, SCHOOL15. So, and that'll get you the discount. Oh, look at that pink. Seriously, isn't that beautiful? Why don't I use these more? These colors are insane. And look when you blend over that orange. It just, it's so pretty. Okay. Yeah, and I think it's fun once in a while to do, just to get these out and play with them. They're really fun. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this up. Look at that. Isn't that so nice? I'm going to have to clean this stencil. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let me get a small blending brush. Do I have any really small ones? I do. I have some small ones. I have a red small one that's small. This is Orchid, I think, but it'll work. And here's like an orangey one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip into this red a little bit. And I'm just going to go right along the edge, right there. Because I want that to be more of a solid line. And I'm going to do it at the bottom too. So where that the butterflies are white there, I'm just adding a little bit there so that it makes a more crisp line. I'm going to do the same with the orange. Orange Glow. Yep, SCHOOL15 is the coupon code.
Do these pads need to be re-inked often?
No. We sell re-inkers for them, but I've been using mine for a while and I've never re-inked them yet. So, but the re-inkers are fun to do inking techniques with too. So, you know, they're good to have, but no, they're pretty, they stay pretty juicy. And I'm just going to do that same thing here, just touching along the edge there. And all that's doing is just filling in the little bit of white along the edge so that when I peel this off, you'll get a nice defined edge. All right, so now we're going to peel and reveal. Can I do it? Yes, I can do it. Look at that. Isn't that fun? Make sure I don't have any ink on me before I touch. Oh, that is so fun. That is just fun. Okay, so now I'm going to make a really simple card with this. Super, super duper simple. I'm going to get some black cardstock, of course, and just trim this down to 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. That would be the same as the Master Layouts 2. So that will just go together like this. And then we can put that on some kind of bright card base. And then we just pop a greeting on. So I pulled a couple greetings out of my greeting box. And just as an example, you know, you could put a big hello on there. Or if you want, you can put it on in black. I have a different hello in black. You could just put a big hello right there. and then just add a few little gems to that. So let's do that. We'll just do that because it's simple. And then we'll save the white ones for my next card. So here is my tape. I'm just going to tape that onto my black layer. You know I have to have the black layer. I saw Kathy Z come in. Hey, Kathy. I saw a little bit of your video yesterday. I couldn't stay because I was at work and work was getting in the way. But I absolutely loved your butterfly card. And you inspired me to use the butterfly stencil today. So beautiful, as always. Okay, so you could layer this up and make it a little bit thicker if you want. I only cut one out because last season when I was watching football, I just got my die cutting machine and I sat on the living room floor and I just cut tons of greetings out, and I have a whole box of them and they're all tangled up, and this was the only hello that I could find in black in there. So, but there's other ones too. Like we could always do a little strip sentiment under here, like we could do that and maybe put a little love you friend or thinking of you friend. So there's so many different die cuts you can use for that, but I think I'll just use this one today. Okay, so I will get my Connect glue and let's just do some dots on the back of this. What did you call us, Tom? What was your word of the day that wasn't even a word of the day yet? About our internet yesterday?
Broadcasting from the internet.
Internet. Yeah, we apologize. I was so stressed out yesterday with no internet, and I knew that, whenever you run a sale, there's always times where, people forget the code, or they have an error on their order and they want to make sure that they get in time for the sale. And not our phones are connected to the internet too, so everything went down. It was just crazy. And I was so stressed out. Ugh. I'm glad that's behind us. I'll put that hello right there like that. That is such a fun hello, isn't it? This is from our hello and shadow die. I know I have the shadow die somewhere, but like I said, I had pre-cut all of these, so, we're just having fun one day watching the football game. I like to watch football, but sometimes I get a little bit too emotional. So if I have a project going at the same time, it actually distracts me from how bad the Packers are playing. I like a lot of teams, though. I used to be a diehard only the Packers, but now I like a lot of different teams. All right, so I'm going to see if I think this orange is going to be, well, that looks kind of fun, doesn't it? This is Tangerine Twist with orange glow. Let's look at Passionate Pink. So you can definitely see that this is a more vibrant pink than Passionate Pink's a little more muted, even though it's a bright color. We could look at Red Hot. That's this here. That would work too, Red Hot. Should we go with the Tangerine? I feel like because the orange is in the center of that card, that just makes it more fun. It draws your eye to the center a little bit. So we'll do that. So I'm going to cut a piece of Tangerine Twist here. I'll just cut that at the 5.5 inch mark. These are great if you're making fast cards, you need a quick card. Just go ahead and dig through your greeting dies and get a nice big greeting. Do a little bit of stenciling and you're good to go. Also good if you're making gift sets for people for the holidays, because, when you're making gift card, like like a set of cards for somebody for the holidays, you're not making holiday cards, right? You're making cards that they can use throughout the year, birthday cards, thank you cards, thinking of you cards. So if you want to make a box of 6 really fast, you could do a layout like this and it would be so, so simple. Yeah, I like the tangerine too. Good. I'm glad most of us are in agreement.
Phyllis wants to know what the internet problem was, and we ever learned. But
We did learn. So apparently there are these big things called nodes. And nodes are what like brings the internet into a certain area. And then the wires all go out from the nodes. This is what they told me. Again, I'm not an expert at this at all, but...
that's what they tell you. It was a spilled latte. Come on.
A spilled latte? That could be. But they said that the node was bad, and apparently these nodes are buried underground, so they had to locate the node first. And then once they located the node, then they had to repair it. I think I'm going to use gold here. Then they had to repair it, and it took them forever to find it. So, yeah, you would think it would be easier, but I guess it isn't. And, you know, I was screaming, telling them, you don't understand, I'm supposed to go live. I need to be with my people. They didn't understand that at all. They didn't care about my life. Okay, so I think I'll just add a few little random... I think I want another one down here. Let's put one here, and then we'll put another tiny one. I'm going to go in here because these are upright. These are like turtles on their backs when you're trying to pick them up. Let's do that, like a sprinkling. Lay that over here. Over there. Yeah, let's do that. We'll get rid of that one. This way we have 5. Okay. Wish me luck here. I'm going to pick it up. And if you ever have any trouble with your jewel picker trying to pick up the gem, remember that if you try to do it on the side, it doesn't really pick up very well. But if you do it straight down, it works really well. But I don't particularly like that one because sometimes I think I want a bigger one.
I think a few viewers might be searching for the embellishments online, and they're asking, what is the item number for the stones you use, and what are your embellishments called?
So this one, I don't know what the item number is. We don't really like index stuff by item number on our website, but it is called, they're called black, gold, and silver metallic pearls. So if you type in metallic, they should come up. You know, I'm finding that on the website, the least amount of words that you type in gets you the best results. So if you type in metallic, they'll come up. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so that is just a quick little card here that I made just with that tearing technique. All right, so now I want to show you something really fun. For my newer people that maybe you're just getting into stenciling and you're just getting into card making, you came to the right place because everybody in the comments, we have the nicest people that show up at these lives and they help answer questions, which is great because I don't always see all the questions. So it's always great to look out and see somebody saying, oh, here's what it's called, Mary, or here's what it's called, Janice. I love that. You guys are so helpful. Okay. I do see a question here. How do you keep your jewel picker sticky? So sometimes glue gets on the tip of the jewel picker, and you would think that would be good because that would make it tacky, but it isn't. It dries very shiny. So you just, like, it's slick. So you just want to make sure that you pick off anything that's on the end of your jewel picker. And remember, this is wax, so you don't have to press hard at all with the jewel picker. In fact, if you press hard, you will definitely crack or crumble your jewel picker. And again, like trying to touch it on the side, well, the sequins are a little easier, but the pearl kinds of things, they're very hard. Look, see, everything falls on its back. They're very hard to pick up on the side. So I always go straight down. Like if this is the jewel, you just straight down on it. And it'll always pick up a lot easier that way. Even the heavier embellishments will pick up easier if you go straight down on it. But it's not meant to be so sticky that it doesn't release easily. So, you know, if you're thinking that you're going to have a jewel picker that like just grabs it, it's not going to do that. It's not meant to do that. Otherwise, you're always getting your finger in there trying to like hold the sequin down while you pull the jewel picker off. So just a light touch. You don't have to press. You just touch it to the sequin or the gem and it will stick straight down. And then put it on the glue straight down. Now, I always like to, I didn't in this card, but one thing I really like to do is put all my glue dots down first where I want the jewels and then go back and put the gems down because then the glue gets more tacky and it grabs it better. So, you know, give that a try. I know some people have cracked their jewel picker because they thought that they really had to press, but you don't have to. We do sell wax tip replacements, and I did hear somebody say that all they had to do was like heat up the wax a little bit and they could like mold it back together. So if it does crumble, you could try that too. Okay, so I'm just cleaning that with a little bit of rubbing alcohol.
Danette wants to know, where is the hello sentiment from?
It is called Hello and Shadow. It's in our dies, standalone word dies, and it's called Hello and Shadow. Okay, so now for the next card I'm going to make, I'm going to take a piece of cardstock here, and I am going to, I think I'm going to use like purple, green, and blue for this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a fade onto this piece of cardstock first. So I'll start with the blue. No, I'll start with the green. Let me start with the green. This is Screamin Green. You know what? I think I'm going to do this even differently. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some Screamin Green, but instead of doing a fade down the card, the name of that first stencil is called Butterfly Garden. This is Butterfly Garden. I'm going to use it again on my next card too.
Deborah wants to know, could you spray water on the stencil and turn it over to get a print?
You can. Yes, you can. I don't think it'll be super crisp. It'll be watercolory, but you can definitely do that. Okay, see what I'm doing here? I'm just doing some big blotches of neon color. That green, isn't that pretty?
Will the jewels require extra postage, do you think?
You know, it really depends. Some do, some don't. You know, like the real tiny sequins, sometimes you can get away with it. But here's the thing. They sell hand cancel stamps that are a few cents more than the regular postage stamps that you can put on there. They're actually very pretty. They look like a butterfly, and they're called hand cancel stamps. You can find them on the USPS website. They send those things through a machine, and sometimes the machine will just rip the envelope. So you put a lot of work into these cards, and you probably want it to be, you know, safe. So it might be worth a few extra cents to just ask them to hand cancel it. All right, so now I'm using Blaring Blue. I'm going to get that in here. Get a couple layers of that going. I think my Blaring Blue might be a little dry. I think I might be due for a re-inker here. And for cleaning the blending brushes, what I recommend is, I recommend not really cleaning them, okay? That's my first recommendation, is to not really clean them, but rather just rub that color off onto like a paper towel, like just the textured paper towel, and get as much color off as you can. My second recommendation is alcohol. just a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a paper towel and just rub the bristles over it, and that'll get a good batch of the ink off. If you're going to use some kind of soap or cleaner, I would say go with something like baby shampoo, some very low sudsing shampoo, something like that. And after you've rinsed the shampoo out of the brushes, don't lay them down flat like this to dry. Turn them this way to dry, because these bristles, this bristle head is glued into this head, into this casing here. And when you wet these brushes and you lay it down, all the water is going to pool into the glue and it's going to loosen the brush head. So if you do it this way, the water will pool away from the back. But honestly, a little bit of alcohol will do the trick. You don't really need too much. It's pretty easy. I think I'm going to use some Hello Yellow here too. I'm going for it. Let's see how that looks. Ooh, that is bright. That's really pretty. I'll be sharing good high quality pictures of these when I'm done. Put a little yellow in there. Ooh, that turned it green. Okay. All right, so I'm going to add a little more blue after I just demonstrated how to clean the brush. Oh, I'm so glad to be back, you guys. I missed you all so much. I really did. I missed you all so much. I was trying to explain to the lady at Spectrum that we're crafters and we need to be together and we need to... She was like, I don't know what you're talking about. We're trying to find the node. Leave us alone. Okay, so I'm going over some of these other spots and it's kind of creating a whole other bright green in there. But you'll see what I'm going to do in a second. I'm excited about it. It kind of just breaks up some of that a little bit. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, that looks good. I'm going crazy here. Alrighty, now what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to put a little piece of tape back here. And then I'm going to put this stencil on top, like this. This gorgeous butterfly stencil. This is called Butterfly Garden if you're just joining us. And this stencil was from our most recent release. And there's some other great cards out there that people have done using this stencil. So make sure you check out Mindy Egan's video, Kathy Zilski's video. There's a lot. And then if you're in our Facebook group, so many people have gotten their orders already. So they're starting to show really beautiful cards too. Okay, so now I'm using black ink, right? Okay. Now this is hard to do sometimes. You look at it and you go, I can't just do all over my stencil with black. Yes, you can. And don't worry, you'll be able to clean it with alcohol. It will come off, I promise. But this is going to be so cool. All right, I bent my stencil a little bit. These delicate ones, you have to be a little careful because sometimes you can bend them, but all you have to do is bend it back and then it's fine. All right, here we go. So now I'm really going to ink up my black brush here, and I'm just going to start up here and just go to town. Heavy-handed, black all over. And this is called reverse stenciling. Now, I've got videos from 100 years ago on reverse stenciling, so I know it's not a new technique for a lot of you, but for some of you who are brand new to crafting, reverse stenciling is really quite a magical experience if you haven't seen it before. So right now it's looking pretty grim.
And that's just black onyx, right?
That's just black onyx ink, yep. And I definitely would recommend using a fast-drying dye ink for this because, you know, you're going to have black all over the place. Just regular black ink. We don't have a black neon ink because it really wouldn't look any different. but you can mix the inks with no problem. I'm really getting messy. Normally I have a little bit of paper towel, but I am running out of paper towels, but I'll just put a paper towel down so that I can kind of not get my hands all dirty. It just feels good to hold the stencil down when you're doing this.
So, reverse stenciling, do you always use black ink?
I like to use black ink the best. I think it looks the best with black. You can get away with things like navy or brown if you use tones that will cover up well with navy or brown. So if, let's say, you were doing, you know, turquoise and green, and then you wanted to go over it with navy, that would probably work. But black has such full, dense coverage that it really makes the color pop. So I prefer black for reverse stenciling.
And Belinda is asking, what is the difference between reverse stenciling and Jacob's code?
Like I think you mean Joseph's code. Joseph's code is where you do the same kind of thing, but instead of using a stencil, you emboss the color. So you, like, let's say you did the whole thing in the greens and stuff, and then you stamped a background stamp on top with Versamark ink and embossed it in clear. You encapsulate that color underneath the background stamp. Then when you put the black over it, everywhere that the embossing powder is will stay colorful and the rest will turn black. So that's what Joseph's code is. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love that. That is so pretty. That is so pretty. Okay. I'm just cleaning this up now. Yeah, it's just like, it's a wow, isn't it? I mean, compared to, it's beautiful this way, but look at that. That is just such a wow. And what's fun about this, and what's easy about this, especially if you're newer to ink blending and stuff, it doesn't matter how blotchy the inks are, if they're not perfectly blended together. There's some spots there that could have been better blended together. It doesn't even matter. You don't even notice it because the color is just in the fine details, and so it looks so pretty. I love this technique. One of my favorites. All right, so we'll make a card with this next. I'm going to clean this. So I'll show you, like, if I just use something like, I have a little bit of glass cleaner here. If I just used a little glass cleaner for this, see how it kind of stays purple? Because there's a purple undertone to our black dye ink. Well, I'm going to instead go back to this one. I don't think I should mix ammonia and bleach, but I don't know, you know, it could be a fun day. You could see how that purple is coming off up here? And it's cleaning all up again. So alcohol is a great blending solution when you're using alcohol markers and you want to do like a spritz technique. You could take a little alcohol on a brush and spatter. I mean, it definitely works really nicely with getting color off of anything. So I like that. Still have a little bit here. Sometimes it's on the other side too because it seeps through the other side. But that's pretty cleaned up, right? That looks pretty good. So alcohol is a good way to clean. Okay, so we've got to do something with this one now. This is too pretty. I don't want to touch it with alcohol or I'll mess it up. Okay, so I think for this one, we could definitely use like I have another hello here that's really pretty in white. But I think with something like this, I might cut the hello and shadow because I think that the shadow would help you be able to see the hello better. In this case, it's easy because the hello is black and it's, you know, it's on lighter colors. But when you're trying to put white over darker colors, sometimes it's a little harder to see. So we'll just trim this down a little bit. Let's trim it down to that I'm just cutting a little bit off of each edge. And the reason why it's sticking is because I've got some of my tape on there that I put on there. I'm just going to use my Mono Sand Eraser for that. Just going to sand that adhesive off the back. There we go. And then it won't stick to my paper cutter. All right, so let's take this down to 3.5 by, I'm just going to take a little off the top by, I could take it there, 4.25. Okay. Did I do 4.25 or 4.75? 4.75. 3.5 by 4.75. Hey, and like, I don't even think I would throw this away. I know it's crazy, but that would be so pretty to put on the envelope, wouldn't it? Like just along the edge of the envelope, or even on the inside of the card. Just have a little strip going down the inside of the card, so when you open it up, it's got that little delicate piece of interest there. You could put one there and one on the envelope. Don't throw those away. They're too nice. Okay, so I'm going to use white now because this is all black. So I'm going to use white, and I'm going to cut that down to 3 5/8 by 4 7/8, which is the same measurements as the Master Layouts 2. I didn't use Master Layouts 2 on this because it's really hard to see the stitching in the black. So, you know. But I think that little white edge is going to make it pop. See, the white edge makes it pop the way the black edge makes it pop when it's white. And that's so pretty. Okay, so let's tape this together. And then we'll cut out a word. Okay. Now, I didn't put that on very well. I still have time. I have time to move it. It takes a second for it to set. There we go. That's better. Okay. Now, I feel like for this card, I want to use a white... I can't use a white card base. I feel like I want to, but I shouldn't. Let's go with something muted a bit, like a sea glass. I think that would be really pretty, and that will pull out that little bit of blue that's in there. I think that's going to be pretty.
How about yellow?
Okay, we'll try yellow. Now I have...
That doesn't sound so enthusiastic.
Well, what do you think of that?
You left off for crying out loud.
All right, for crying out loud. What do you think? Do you like that? I do like that, Tom. That's a good idea. I like Tom's suggestion. What do you think? Okay, people are saying gray. Gray would be good. Green. So here was my thinking. I think whatever color you put behind it, it's going to bring out that color in the card. So here, my eye is drawn right to here where this yellow is because of this card base. On this one, my eye immediately gets drawn up in here to these blues. Do you see that? You see that? Let's try APPL Min. So if I used APPL Min, then all of a sudden my eye's drawn here and my eye is drawn there. Do you guys see that the same way that I do?
I like APPL Min.
You like APPL Min?
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Okay, so APPL Min, you're drawn to the green. Here, see the difference? How much, like... It's crazy to me how all I see is green in the butterflies. And then when I put it here, everything turns blue, like the blue starts to glow.
Yeah, a lot of votes for blue.
And then when I put it over here, I start seeing this right here in the middle. My eye is drawn to that.
And now APPL Mint's coming in. It's a tough call.
Yeah, it is a tough call.
Looks like you'll have to decide.
I think I'm going to go with the blue. Because we're out of APPL Min right now anyway, so I don't want to frustrate people. We are having APPL Min remanufactured, and we have like 6,000 packs of it on the way. A lot. It's a lot. It's a warehouse full. So I hope you guys like APPL Min. I'll be making APPL Min cards like crazy. You know what? They all look good, though. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of them, really. So, all right, Tom. Well, I am digging around trying to figure out the word that I want to do with this, the word die I want to use. Do you have a word? Speaking of words, do you have a word of the day?
So you're working on just the right word.
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's the theme here. And I'm working on just the wrong word. So, time for word of the day. That's when I somehow come up with a silly mixture of two words. Who knows what? It's just a way to distract from what's really important. And so today's word is from when you order food online. Yes. And you place the order, and then you go to pick it up, and they say we never got an order.
Oh, that's frustrating.
So that would be you placed an ignoreder. Your ignoreder is not ready. Please step to the back of the line. Along with that person in the dead space.
Put that on the card right there. See that?
Ignoreder.
That's very funny. I like that word. That's a cute one. That's good. All right. Well, I think I'm going to make this a thank you card. Now, I probably should have used oranges and more warm colors because then it could have even been a Thanksgiving card. But I think there's always a time where I need a thank you card. So I have this white grateful already cut out. And so I'm just going to cut the shadow layer out in some black. Let me see if I have a little piece of black somewhere. I might. Here's a piece of black I can use. So let's set this up here. I don't need it that tight. And I'm going to cut the shadow die out in black. See, when I put this on top, it's okay, but it does really kind of get lost in the busyness. So I feel like if I put the shadow die underneath, it'll just outline it in black, and that black will blend in, but it will allow you to see the whole word. So I don't have a brighter yellow than Wild Dandelion. That's kind of the brightest yellow that I have. Did I have that on embossed? No, I didn't. Okay. So there we go. Now you see if I layer this together and I put that on, you see it. You don't really notice it, right? It doesn't really look like there's a piece of black cardstock down there, but you can totally read the word. See the difference there? And then there? Totally different. So it's good to use the shadow die, something with the shadow die when you're doing the reverse stencil technique with black. Alrighty, so let's glue these two pieces together. Oh gosh, everybody's so nice. I love seeing everybody. I really missed you guys. Getting together and crafting and just trying techniques and stuff, and then, you know, getting to go into the Facebook group and see you guys share what you made. That's like all the therapy I need. Well, some people might disagree with that, but it's all the therapy I feel like I need. Right, Tom?
Right!
Okay. Well, I'm glad our nodes are fixed. Whatever those are. They're out there somewhere under the ground, bringing internet to everybody. It's weird, too. Our whole industrial park was out. So, like, I can only imagine, like, all of the businesses that were experiencing that.
Time to get those removed.
The nodes? All right. Oh, I'm stuck to the grateful. Probably would be better without the tweezers.
Beverly is asking, what stamp set is the Grateful die?
The Grateful is a standalone die set. It's called Grateful and Shadow. So you can pick that up. Remember, we have 15% off right now through Friday. So Grateful in Shadow is this one. But yeah, that just makes all the difference to me. So I could put this up a little higher like that. You could go off the edge. Kind of like it going off the edge a little bit. Just kind of shows it, but some people might not like that. You might like it in there a little bit more. I have a little messed up spot right there, so I could cover that, and then I could add maybe a few white pearls, which I don't use enough of, and that would accent on some of that white. So how's my back? Well, it's better. It's not good, but it's better.
It's better than horrible.
Better than horrible, yeah. I'm upright. So they're telling me they think it's an overuse injury because Tom and I did a 32-mile bike ride. But I don't think that's it because we go bike riding all the time. I think maybe I was sitting weird. I sit really weird in chairs. I love to like have my one leg under myself all the time. I'm sorry, that was really fast. Zoom in. Sorry if anybody got motion sickness there. I just wanted to come in a little bit closer. I sit weird in chairs, and I was working on a future release, and I was sitting in one position for a super long time. And it's possible that I just kind of wrenched my back out of shape a little bit. But they had me taking, I don't know, like they had me taking 600 milligrams of ibuprofen and 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol together with a muscle relaxer. And I was like, wow, that's a lot. I wonder if I should put one into the saying there. Maybe over here. So I was taking that for a while, and then I stopped taking that much because I was a little freaked out. That seems like a lot of medicine to take all at once. And, I am diabetic, so I kind of worry about my kidneys and liver and all of that. That's so much. So I'm just going to add those little pearls in there. Could also go in if you really wanted to jazz it up a little bit, and you could pick a pearl color, like here's a blue pearl, for example. You could just put centers in all of the little flowers if you wanted, and just do that to add some gems in there. That's a little blue one, but I'm going to just stick with the white ones. But doesn't that seem like, yeah, I know, my stomach, I was a little worried. They told me to eat with it, so I did. But, I just didn't want to keep doing that. So now that I've stopped taking it, it's kind of hurting a little bit more, but not like it was. I was twisted up. I couldn't stand up. I was like, I'd stand up and I would just like crumple over. So I'll just put that one there. It's cute. Yeah, it was weird. So hopefully I didn't do any permanent damage, but it's much better. And I appreciate you asking. Thank you. Much better than it was. Because I'm fine now. Like I can like walk and I can go places and I can do things. I'll tell you though, muscle relaxers, that's not a bad thing. That's kind of fun. Kind of relaxing. I did sleep a lot. Okay, I'm just cleaning up the glue because I was a little heavy-handed there. Okay, so there is my second little card. Nothing super fancy, very easy to do, but certainly packs a punch, right? And then you have this one for the other style. And here we've got that. And I cut a piece of this off, but I wanted to show you what it looked like in the pinks and oranges too. Isn't that pretty? And you can always do something like kind of on a weird angle, like just put that onto your card front like that, and then have your greeting. You could always put a greeting going up the side you know, something like that. So there's always fun things that you can do with these. But that is today's technique, and there are my finished cards. All right, Tom, so shall we give away a $15 gift card, especially during a sale?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
All right. Turning our drummer loose. Timpani roll. And the winner is Denise Weist. Denise
Yay,
Weist.
Denise! Congratulations, Denise. You are the winner today. All you have to do is send your name and email address to info@Gina K Designs and let them know that you won the $15 gift card, and we will send you a digital gift card that you can use whenever you want. They don't expire, so you can wait till our next release. You can wait till your birthday. You can do whatever you want. All right, everybody. Well, this was so much fun. I want to thank you all so much for making time for us this afternoon. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, we'd love you to come over there. It's called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. And if you saw any products you like today in today's video, you can always find them on our website at ginakdesigns.com. And if you liked today's video, and we sure hope that you did, we would love it if you give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumb.
Don't ignore her.
Don't ignore her. We would love it if you'd give us a thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss another video. All right, everybody. Well, Tom and I will be back next Tuesday night for another Stamp and Chat Live. In the meantime, stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.